So what is up? What are you up to tonight? Chad? Yes, what's up? Happy Halloween.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on a minute. I got to get a cough drop.
Something on fire, though. I should be earning stuff right now. It's not cool. Chasing around homeless people. Chasing 40. That's all right.
All right, I guess I can ask the panel on anybody's here. Does anyone have a, I really am nervous.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Delphi case. I'm sitting around watching a whole bunch of channels tonight.
Across, especially the rest of the case today. I think some of us know there's more stuff that didn't come in.
There's too many sketches. Now, I have an idea of what's going on. Now, either there was 4 or 5 people there, maybe 7, or they're looking for these guys for another case that might have gone unsolved, or the other murders that were out there in Delphi. Now, you have to remember, they were looking for a younger guy, right? Reddish or brownish curly hair. The top of his hair was curly. Clean shaved. Now, police have already come out and said these people are going to change their appearance. They might grow a beard. They might start wearing glasses. They might change their appearance completely. Right? Now, okay, they got Bridge Guy. All right? So they got Richard Allen. So they say. Where's the DNA connection? Probably the cigarette butt. And that was never released. Right? We knew there was a cigarette butt, but we didn't know what brand. Now, if you listen to the transcripts of the beginning of the arrest with Richard Allen, what was he doing? He was smoking a cigarette. And that's Jerry Holmes, or Holman even said that. Jerry Holman was waiting for him. As Jerry Holman was searching, Richard Allen was outside smoking a cigarette. Okay? They found a cigarette butt, I believe, at the crime scene. And they withheld that for many years, but that came out. But they might not have needed to use the cigarette butt anymore, being that they had Richard Allen as a key thing in the case, right? Because they knew whoever the killer was. Supposedly there was a cigarette butt left at the crime scene, and a Jimmy John's cup or sandwich cup, but that might not have had anything to do with the case. That just could have been garbage from somebody walking out there, whatever. And so could the cigarette butt. But here's the thing. If they found the cigarette butt and they withheld the cigarette butt and the brand of the cigarette butt, once they did find Richard Allen, and I can tell you right now, as an investigator, I know Jerry Holman, probably that was the first thing that he noticed. Oh, Richard, oh, you want to go out and have a cigarette? Sure. Oh, hey, Richard, what kind of, here, you need a cigarette? Here you go. What brand you smoke? So, is there a certain brand you need, or they probably knew. And that's okay. Even if Richard Allen didn't smoke cigarettes, we knew that somebody there smoked cigarettes. That was at the crime scene. Now, here's the other thing, folks. This case is far from being over. We got way too many sketches. They all look different. Now, the first sketch that came out, the guy with the hat on, with the Irish ball cap or whatever, He had the goatee, whatever, hair flipping out of his. The facial structures and everything kind of looked like Richard Allen. But now we got somebody that was in their 20s or 30s, younger, with short, reddish, curly, brown hair. Interesting. Interesting, because people keep forgetting about that reddish, curly, brown. I think the witness said, "Hello, Miss Cyber Warrior." I think the witness said it was a brownish, curly hair on top. The sides were cut real clean, right? Looked real young. Didn't have a goatee or anything. Real clean cut, shaven. Definitely over 5'7" because she was taller, or she was 5'7", and the lady remembered that no, this guy was taller than her, and she was 5'7". So you got that, and we also got. We know Bridge Guy had something under his jacket. I don't think it was a gun. People, he had a gun. He had a gun, but I don't think that's what we are seeing. We're seeing something more of his upper chest, a big bulge out of the right side of his chest down to his stomach and to his hand, or where his hands are in his pocket. So he's got something tucked away underneath that jacket, right? Whether it's a backpack or whatever it is, something is in that jacket. But can we even believe or trust the video that we're seeing? Is it even actually what happened? We don't know. We don't know. We know this much. They got Richard Allen on something, right? They got Richard Allen on something. They definitely have proof of something. What it is, I don't know. I'm not saying he's Bridge Guy. I'm not saying that. He looks like Bridge Guy, but folks, let me keep this in your minds. Keep this in your minds. That we had 4 or 5 suspects that looked like Bridge Guy before Richard Allen even came along. Before we even knew about Richard Allen, 6 years went by. 6 years went by. And before Richard Allen, we had all kinds of suspects that looked like Bridge Guy. Very interesting. Hold on 1 minute, please. I need to check a message. So keep that in mind, folks. If you are in on this case and watching it, it ain't over yet. There was way too many sketches. There was way too many people's phones pinging in that area as the crime was happening. I'm even backing off on Greeno, right? Because Greeno has been on the radar for a long time with people. And I think if Greeno was the killer or something, the police would have had him already. I think he, I don't, makes things up or whatever sometimes. Maybe he was there. Maybe he was a witness. Whatever. But I'm giving up on that. We're focusing more now. You got Richard at. Look, here's the thing, Miss Cyber Warrior. Hello, Miss Debbie Fox. Good evening. Thank you for showing up tonight. Such a kind lady. Taking time out from the retirement home to come see. I'm joking. I'm just joking. All right, here we go. Miss Cyber Warrior, here's the thing. I've got 4 guys that placed themselves there. Nobody else. They placed themselves there. Keegan Kline said he was there with his dad. We had Anthony Greeno said he was there, right? In that area. Drove by just as the killing was just happening. But yet his phone pinged in the woods. That's what he's saying there. He said that he was driving on the highway, but his phone pinged in the woods. You had numerous people that were questioned, right? That were suspects. They might not have been the murderers. They might have known about it or led the girls to their deaths, whatever. You got Richard Allen saying that he's seen 2 sets of girls. When he first came walking in, there was 3 sets of girls, or 3 girls that seen him. Right? He walks around, does whatever, and he comes across another 3 girls, describing them to the T. 2 of them looked like they were 11 or 12. The other one looked 18 years old. That's describing Abby and Libby and possibly Kelsey. So we know Kelsey was on the bridge. We know Kelsey was on the bridge because Richard Allen described her. If it wasn't Kelsey on the trail with the girls, maybe Kelsey was afraid to say she was out there, but she left the girls alone because either she had to go to the work or whatever she said. Maybe she felt guilty about that. I mean, there are some people that think Kelsey led the girls to their demise. I don't know. And it's very possible. I would not put it past anything in this world we live in today. But, so we got Richard Allen describing 6 girls. 3 girls see him when he comes walking in. He sees them girls. We think, why didn't he take them girls right then and there? No one else was around. He could have done the same thing, but he doesn't. He keeps walking, and he's on his way to the bridge. He passes. Who does he pass? He passes. He said that. Abby, Libby, and someone else that appeared to be older in their teens. So he passes them already. He sees them. He puts Kelsey there. And there's no one else that matches that description of an older teen woman being with Abby and Libby. Hello, Miss ATS News. So here's what I think. He sees all these girls. He don't take his first chance with the 3 girls he sees walking in. He waits. He sees the other 3 girls, which is Abby, Libby, and possibly Kelsey, or someone else, on the bridge. And then what did he say? One of the girls walked away, meaning left. One of the girls left, and it was just Abby and Libby. And that's when he made his move and started pushing them back off of the bridge, right? Because he's coming across the bridge, and they're just coming across the bridge, and they see him coming across the bridge because Richard Allen states he did not go after the girls until after that one girl that looked older made a break, left, walked away. So who was that woman? Did that woman keep the girls there? Did the young lady or whoever it was keep the girls there until Richard Allen showed up? And then Richard Allen led them to wherever. Possible. Very possible. I have a couple scenarios on this, and the white van played a part in it. because Richard Allen made statements that we have to go and listen to in his confessions, that he killed the girls. He's admitting to that, but he did not do it the way he said. He didn't do it that way. And we haven't heard the way he did it. He's claiming that he was there at 2 o'clock, which that's a lie, because the statements are saying that Richard Allen got home at 11 o'clock. He grabbed his jacket and he was gone. He left on his way to the bridge. He lives 5 minutes away from the bridge, not even. He was there way before 1:30, like they were claiming, or 12:30. He was there way before that. Right? I would like to see the footage of him passing that building, because it'd be interesting to see, did he park there? Right? We know he was there for a long time. He said he left at 2:15 or 1:30 or 2:15 or something, but he couldn't know because he was spotted on 300 at 3:30 walking down the road. He said he left, he got spooked because he seen somebody or a van, and he left right away. That can't be true, because then who was walking down the road at 3:30 on 300 all muddy and bloody? So he was there. And I imagine he went ahead and made up. I imagine he's trying to tell everybody. I have a feeling these gentlemen that we have been watching are trying to tell us the truth, but they don't want to get into the gory part. I think a lot of these guys would have never placed themselves there if they didn't have something to do with it. They're trying. I think they're in their own mind. They might be confessing and not even know it. This might be the work of God, because you got 4 guys that are placing themselves at the crime scene of a horrible double murder of 2 young girls. That is unbelievable. And then they're telling people, right? Their phones pinged in that area, and we haven't even heard how many phones have pinged around the kill zone. There might have been witnesses there, but them witnesses were placed there to lie. Fake witnesses, fake times, fake everything. Plus, there's a time zone in Indiana. There is a time change in Indiana. The time is different in Delphi than it is here by me. Over an hour or so, hour and a half, an hour difference. Still live in Indiana, but the time has changed. And that would explain what we're dealing with. I think they were there a lot earlier. And that means the girls must have been dropped off a lot earlier, if the girls were even dropped off there at that time. Was there any content in the girl's stomach, any banana pancakes, any food at all? Why? Because the digestive system will tell you exactly what time the girls were killed. If they just ate and didn't even have enough time to digest, the food's still in the stomach or small intestine. That takes 3 to 4 hours to digest. We got a lot of work to do on this case, though. And the sketches ain't matching. The sketches I'm seeing, and I'm going to be honest with you folks. I'm not going to lie to you folks. I'm going to be honest with you. Look like three of them look like YouTubers. And I'm going to be honest with you. The 3 sketches look like, I'm sorry, YouTubers. I know it's crazy, but I'm I'm telling you, I really think so. Now, either somebody gave some fake eyewitness stuff and sketch, either they were fake witness. One of them sketches might be Richard Allen. I can see the old Irish hat that he's got on. If you take away that hair or whatever, that's very similar to Richard Allen. It's got that look. But the other 3 or 4 sketches that are out look nothing like him. Nada, zero. Not even. Well, we took this sketch to try and get. No. That looks like that dude we've been watching for a long time on YouTube. The other one looks like the other dude. So does the other one. So, and then you got all the description. I mean, it's starting to make sense. You got phones pinging in that area. You got all these guys with bad history in that area. You got all this stuff going on, right? But we don't know. How did the media get there so fast? They didn't know the girls were missing until 5 o'clock when they were supposed to get picked up, or 4 o'clock or whatever. But that story has changed. I thought it was 5 o'clock. The girls were supposed to get picked up at 5 or 4 o'clock. But there being that time change, it might have been 5 o'clock would be 4 o'clock down south. So that makes sense, possibly. Right? And depending if they had cell phones where they lived, as soon as they got in that area, their phone, the time on their phone would have changed. Or maybe it didn't, being that their phones registered up north here. I wonder if it would change if there was a time zone. If you lived in Indiana up north, if you went down south, would your time change, or on your phone, will it stay the same? That's interesting. So we are looking for other people, and keep in mind, the police said these people will change their appearance. They will change their appearance. Now, some people, I'm not going to lie, some people had Greeno as a suspect, right? Because Greeno made himself a suspect. He's the one that came out and said he was dating Becky when all this happened or whatever, and he was good friends with Mike Patty, and they used to go hunting. He knew the whole family and all that, right? There was a lot of people saying that. That one guy that was always on his channel or on you, I think he's Sterling, one of his sidekicks or friends or whatever. Now, when I heard that, I was like, who the heck is Sterling? But then I seen him, and I'm like, yeah, he looks like the sketch. The young guy with the curly hair on top, the thin side hair on the sides. If you shave Sterling and take his glasses off, what color is his hair? Reddish brown curly? It could be. I mean, you got a lot of people here that look like Bridge Guy. You got a lot of people that look like these sketches. Now, is it coincidence these guys look like YouTubers? I don't know. I'm not sure. But there's a lot of crap going on. And it's starting to make all sense. This was more. This was, I'm sorry. When I heard the thing of Richard Allen, when he said this all started when he was a kid and he molested his sister at a young age, I'm like, there we go. Bingo. Right? Because this guy was having problems way before DELPHI. And if you look at the other records of these guys, they have very violent crimes against women, and some of them, I guess, with kids and stuff. So maybe it was some kind of ring, and they got found out. And they usually do run together. They stick together. So I'm kind of easing up on Greeno because he's made it clear out there. The police know if he unless they're trying to build a case against him, that's the only reason they would be letting him run around is because they're watching him, right? Maybe he'll strike again if that was. That's why I'm kind of easing off a little bit on Greeno. Right? I'm not saying he's not capable of doing something like that. I mean, he's already admitted the night of the murders he went back to the crime scene to look for evidence or to try and find the girls and found evidence supposedly, a phone. So we know Greeno was there. At least that's what he's saying. Now, whether it's true or not, everybody says don't listen to Greeno. He lies through his teeth. I've caught him in lies, but it's possible he was there that night, right? He was in that area. He's in that area today. I don't think he's ever left that area. I think he's got backdrops and stuff that he used to makes it look like he's somewhere else. These guys are constantly on the run, constantly on the move. We really don't know. You know, people thought it was Randy Gravitt on the bridge. I've gone through so many people. Randy Gravitt is way too tall, and he might be the same height, but he was way bigger than the bridge guy, weight wise, at that time. And his face structure didn't fit the thing, or his gait. Richard does have a gait, a small one. Brian James Chadwell had a gait. He had a limp on the right side of his leg. So did Harmon. He also fit the height, weight. At that time, Sean Harmon always didn't look like a junkie, ladies and gentlemen. In 2017, there was Facebook photos of Sean Harmon. And he also had reddish, brownish, curly hair. So there was many people before Richard Allen that people were looking at. Now, is it a coincidence? They all look alike. It's freaky. It's freaky of how many people. Sullivan, the one YouTuber, Sullivan, who looks exactly like Brad Holder. People thought Brad Holder was on the. I thought everyone thought. Why? Because the clarity of the photo and video that we were seeing, many people look like Bridge Gang. Does that make sense to anybody? If I'm way off track, let me know. But I don't think so. I think we're on the right track. I think there was many involved. Keegan Klein, Kurtz, all of them. It was a giant crew down there. Some called it the Delphi Lafayette crew. I don't know. People are talking about, well, you got the Kokomo crew that's up in Kokomo, Indiana, and all these different crews around there. Maybe they were all, being that Lafayette is only 10, 15 minutes away in a vehicle from Delphi. Maybe they all knew each other pretty much. Right? There's a lot of stuff that people don't know about Delphi. What about the woman that was driving down 300 and seen what appeared to be a young teen boy or a younger guy that was on the side of the road with a truck, and the lady pulled over to ask if the guy needed help or the kid needed help, and they said they were waiting for their dad, that he went to go get gas or something. And he was going to stay there because his dad or someone went to go get gas. What happened to them? Your phone changes automatically. All right, so maybe that's where there's a time mix up. Is that what happens, Debbie? As soon as you cross a time zone, your phone would automatically change? Say you were on the West Coast and you flew from California to the East Coast, your phone automatically changes? Or does it stay the same time where you live? You have to excuse me. I haven't been smoking too much today. So I'm kind of jittery a little bit, but I'm smoking cheap cigarettes. I'm doing my best. But I think it's starting to all add up, right? For all we know, Greeno might be a witness. He might have been there. He might have been one of these idiots. He might have realized he made a mistake. He was talking about he was going to be initiated into a club or a gang or something. And Greeno, once he knew what was going on, he might have got out of there. Right? Maybe he was there. Maybe he did go back to the scene of the crime that night or whatever. Why? I don't know. I don't know. But that's what I'm talking about. These guys are putting themselves. They're putting themselves there. Not me, not anyone else. They did. No one knew that Anthony Greeno's phone was taken from him or he was picked up and questioned until Anthony Greeno said he was picked up. I mean, this is very interesting, right? Very interesting. Why? I don't know why these guys would put themselves there. After 12 days after the murder, Keegan Kline was picked up, but he was given a polygraph and he passed it and left. But yet the police proved that he was talking to the girls that day, underage girls. So no matter what, Keegan Kline played a part in it, whether he knew these guys or not, whether they worked for Keegan Kline, maybe they worked for Weber. I don't know. Right? Weber was the guy that was on the driveway with the van. Now, I'm confused. Was the van on the drive? Because in the beginning of this case, there was a video out with a white van. You remember that? And you remember that one guy? What was his name? As above, so below. Said everybody was crazy. They're seeing things. And I'm like, dude, I think there was reports of some kind of van parked on the road out there or a camper or something like that, a truck. And people were saying it was pareidolia. You're seeing things nowhere. Well, maybe so. But ain't it funny now how this white vehicle, Richard Allen says all of a sudden that he's seen a white vehicle or a van or something, and it spooked him and he took off. Right? Well, that had to be at 2:30, 2 o'clock. Right? Because Weber wasn't at home yet from work. Well, if he split at 2 o'clock or 2:30, well, at 3:30, who's the person on the road on 300? Debbie says it changes. All right, Miss Deb. I wasn't sure if it did or not, but still, there's a time change. I don't know. It's very interesting. I think we got him pretty much. I think the cigarette. I think once they busted Allen, if they arrested Allen and they had that cigarette butt already from the crime scene, and as soon as Richard Allen said he was going to step outside to have a cigarette as they were searching the house, one of them cops had to say, "Uh-oh, you smoke cigarettes?" They must have. That must be part of the DNA or what they had that only the killer would have known. Only the killer would have known, and they might not have questioned Richard Allen on the cigarette butt right away. They might have felt it out and asked him later on, oh, hey, we noticed you smoke cigarettes, right? And I imagine Richard Allen would say, yeah, so, right? Well, what brand was it? And it's possible that Richard Allen told him the brand, and bingo, there you go. It was the same exact brand of cigarette butt that was found, which would be great police work. That would be, I would be telling Jerry Holman, yeah, you're a genius. If that's the case of how they know it's him, right? We did hear about a cigarette butt, but it was never released what brand it was. I do not believe it was released what brand it was. Maybe they released the cigarette and the fake brand. Maybe it wasn't even the brand they said it was, and only the true killer would have smoked that kind of cigarette or known what kind of cigarette was. They might have also used a tactic like, we found a cigarette, but we know it's yours. It's a Virginia Slim. And Richard Allen might have said, oh, no, it ain't. I smoke Winston or Marble or whatever. And then the investigators would have said, oh, you smoke Marlboro. If the cigarette was a Marlboro, they'd say, oh, well, oh, you smoke Marlboro. Huh. Do you see the tactics I'm using to get questions out? And that might very well be what they did, right? We got you, Richard. We got a cigarette. It's a Virginia Slim, right? And Richard might have laughed and I don't even smoke Virginia Slim. I smoke Camels, idiots. Oh, Camels, is it? Well, guess what? It's not a Virginia Slim. It's a Camel cigarette that we found. If it was a Camel or whatever brand he smoked. Does that make sense to anybody? I'm just asking. Does that make sense? See, we don't know because these people know we're looking for them. They're going to change their appearance. They're going to tell you lies all day long. For all we know, Richard Allen knew Weber. And they used the van in this. And the reports was there was a van driving around, or a vanner out there somewhere parked in the woods. That was in the beginning of the case, man. And then they were looking for a PT Cruiser. It was a PT Cruiser, a truck, or a van, or some kind of camper or semi, white semi, because they thought it was a semi driver. They thought it was a semi driver with a truck that was parked at the slaughterhouse there where they kill the chickens or whatever it is. So it makes sense to me. We're coming 360 to what we thought this case was in the beginning. Right? There had to be someone there. There had to be more people there. Now, we don't know. We know this much. Richard Allen said he did kill the girls, but he didn't do it the way he said. He didn't do the things they said. So it's very possible that Richard Allen was just the kill guy. And he did the murders and he got the heck out of there. And it was the other people that were there that staged it or did the sick stuff or whatever. Maybe. Maybe. It'll be interesting to see, though. But I can tell you this much. There's a lot of suspects, especially that red-headed, curly, reddish brown, curly top, young-looking kid in their 20s to 30s, right? I had no idea. I know people get, who Sterling is. I have no idea. What are you talking? Sterling, the movie? Or the old TV show? Wasn't it Rod Sterling? I'm like, that's a TV program. They're like, no, that's YouTuber. I'm like, he was a suspect. Or at least he fit the description of the sketch. Now, like I said, folks, we don't know. These are all friends of Greeno. Greeno's known these guys for a long time. Greeno was friends with Randy Gravitt. I remember in the beginning of this case, a year into it, Randy Gravitt was over at Greeno's channel and doing videos with him and stuff. So we don't know really, right? We really don't know. I know the police are being honest with us. The police have come out, and I do believe the FBI has already come out and said they know that it's very possible that there was others there or a part of it. Maybe. We're all on DEFCON 5, folks. We are all loaded to the hilt with weapons in case we're attacked. Right? We're just couch potato YouTubers trying to help because we don't want this to happen to our children. We don't want it to happen to our girlfriends, our wives. Right? Does that make sense to anybody? We don't want to hurt anybody. We're just trying to bring some peace to the madness. We're trying to get a control on it. Right? There's a problem. It's been all over the news in Indiana for many, many years, way before Delphi. And people are scared. We're all scared. For all we know, this club or gang that they all were being initiated into, that they all were talking about, is 100 deep, 100 strong, 1,000 strong. We don't know what kind of club this is, what MC club, what organization. Was it the Odins who ride motorcycles? Because they were talking about motorcycles and stuff. We don't know. They could be 5,000 strong. We don't know. Do I think any Odin woman, any woman that's a mother would allow something like that? I find it hard. I find it hard to believe that any Odin or any Odin man that had a daughter would do something like this, but they do. This Odin witchery, demonic crap is real. I don't know if it has anything to do with the case, but these things are real in our country. Now, I'm open for any opinions from anybody. And if I'm not on the right track, then please do it. Let me know. But I think we're getting pretty much this wrapped up. Right? I mean, I do. Nobody put these guys there. We didn't know Keegan Kline until Keegan Kline was arrested. We didn't even know 12 days after the murders, that Keegan Klein was arrested. Why? Because that information was not released yet. Because they were still investigating Keegan Klein and his phones and devices. We didn't know after Keegan Klein got arrested that Anthony Greeno got picked up, either arrested or picked up or questioned on the case. We didn't know Chadwell until they picked him up. I mean, some of us knew because we were watching the social media before the arrest of one or two of these people, but that was because they fit the description of the people that they seen out there. And they also had records that fit this kind of madness, especially Chadwell. And most of these guys, right? I think even Herman had a record like that or something. Something with his family or something. He was another one that slept with his cousins or something, he said, or when he was younger or whatever, when they were younger or something. Right? So it's all making sense to me. I hope it does to you folks, that it was more than one. It might have been one killer, but in general, these guys all knew each other. And they're not going to tell you at the time they knew each other. They're not going to tell you, oh, we're all part of this game. Oh, sure, I know Keegan Klein. I know Chadwell. I know all these guys. Not when they're being investigated for molestation and double murders of little girls and kidnapping little girls. They're not going to tell you that. Right? I don't know who to believe. I can tell you what. I'm going to be honest with you. That Anthony Greeno kid is a good YouTuber. But if we let everybody go that has a good channel or is a YouTuber and implicates themselves in the case, well, that's why we have all these people running around in America that really shouldn't be running around in America. Right? It's the same thing with Keegan Klein. You're like, well, Keegan Klein, he didn't kill the girls. So just let him go, right? He's got 300 photos of young girls naked and asking to do things with them and stuff or whatever. Just let him go, right? He was talking to the girls that day. Yeah, sure. He was wanting to lure them there, but sure he was, but he didn't kill the girl. So we're going to just forget about him. I mean, that's why we got a problem in America. Heck, people thought Gray Hughes looked like Bridge Guy. And Gray Hughes has the same gait as Bridge Guy. I know you're saying, are you crazy? No, Gray Hughes was a suspect and probably still is today. You know who else was a suspect on my list? Rick Snay. He's about 5'10". Right? He had that face. He had the face of Bridge Guy. Even Anthony Greeno looked like he had the face of the Bridge Guy from a distance away. And at that time of the murders, 2017, Anthony Greeno was all over the YouTube. Wearing what? All dressed up in black. Black hat, black pants, black jacket, or black vest, biker vest or whatever. So, I mean, it all makes sense to me. All right, so what is the new case? I mean, Delphi ain't over with. There's many players in Delphi. And I do believe that the FBI is right. And the FBI thinks there's other players in Delphi, and so do the police. So I'm backing them because um, they probably know these guys more than us. Why? Because they've already made arrests on these guys before Delphi. And that's the thing. These guys, the police already knew these guys from previous arrests before Delphi. Even the family is suspect, folks. Yes, Derek, Kelsey, and Cody are even suspects until this case is completely 100% solved. And everyone that was involved or part of the ring or gang or club that they were being initiated into is probably all picked up and put in jail. Unless some of these guys played ball with the government, then it's possible they do little time and they're back out on the street. But you would have to play ball, and Richard Allen would have to play ball. If Richard Allen is telling the truth, he did this murder, but he didn't do it the way he said he did it. He's saying he did it alone. Do we know that for sure? No, he could be scared to death. He's admitting he killed him. He might be so scared he's just taking the rap. We don't know. I can tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this much. There is no way this case should have been tried in 2 weeks. There's too many sketches, too many people that placed themselves there, too many phone pings that happened during the murder for this to be a 2-week case. I think they gave this case 2 weeks or whatever, 6 weeks or whatever. 6 weeks ain't even enough to put this case on, to present this case properly. I don't know. Anyone got any questions or any information? I've watched Granny's watching before. I know her. Why? Just bringing truth and integrity. She blocked me today. I wonder why. That's funny because I can go into Granny's watching channel and hang out over there, and I think sometimes when I go in there, she even says, "Hey Johnny, how you doing?" But how do you go in there and she times you out? She blocked you, not timed out, blocked you, and she's a pretty easygoing woman too. I mean, I don't know why she would do that. All right. Does anyone else have anything they want to say? Now, like I said, folks, this case is far from being over. You got to explain why these witnesses are 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 giving sketches out that are not matching Richard Allen. They're matching these YouTubers. You got to explain that to me. I hope you folks can explain that to me. Right? I hope the courts can explain that to me. Why am I seeing 6 sketches on YouTube? Not one of them look alike. Maybe one of them might be Richard Allen. I would say that it looks similar to Richard Allen. But who are the other 5 guys that are out there, or 4? right? And who are all the people that the phones pinged around that area? All right. Being that it's a slow night and I don't have too many people in here asking any kinds of questions or even answering me when I ask a question, I'll probably end this video and maybe do a fire video tonight here in a little while. Who knows? But I think we're hot on the nail. And this might be a big giant organ. These people might be 50,000 strong. These people might be 50,000 strong. Some big giant club or secret organization. And that would make sense why there's talk of bringing in militia and National Guard. Right? It might be some psycho crazy club, 50,000 strong. Madmen, we don't know. We don't know. We have no idea. I know we are taking precautions. I know that. Right? I don't know how this turned out from a double murder to white nationalists have taken over Indiana and the United States. I don't know how. I don't know how they did this. I have no idea. Demonic, it must be. I don't know how it went from that. A literal feeding frenzy. I don't watch all those. I answer you every time, Miss Debbie. Thank you. Thank you so much. Such a kind lady. So kind. I do. I think I got some of these people trespassing on me. I ain't joking. I think that little crazy sucker Richard Allen is trespassing on me. Or might have some kind of ESP magical warlock crap or something. I don't know. I think these people, I think we watched this case so much that these people somehow work their way into our brains. And the only way to get them out of our brains is beat them to death just fine. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, like I said, we don't know what these people are doing. For all we know, these people have already been caught, cut deals with the government, and are already back out on the street. And I'm being honest with these people. These people might have already been caught, questioned, and part of the deal was give up who was the mastermind in this giant club or organization, or whoever is initiating you into these clubs, who's the mastermind. And they might have gave them up, and that's why we're seeing these guys on the street still. All right, let me see what's going on in my chat here. Was a beautiful, mild spring day today. Your Arctic monkey left. What? I don't know what the heck he's talking about. I have no idea. Be honest with us, John. I've been honest with you people. If I got anything right, it's only because of God Almighty, and I have half of a brain left. Jesus is psychotic. What? That's what they told me. I asked if I believed in God and everything. I was the psychiatrist. I said, yeah. I don't believe in God. It's real. And that's when they said, you're crazy. It's not real. And you can't do this and you can't do that. It's just a story and you got problems. Ew, I knew something was wrong with me. No, but I was having episodes myself of outbursts. Not violent, not hurting people, but outbursts. And the doctor said that's part of your disability too. You're not violent. You're not a psycho killer. You just sometimes can't handle the world and the pressure builds up in your brain and you have outbursts. Right? My attitude changes. I get oh well, who gives a crap? Right? That's what I do. My disability, right? My attitude changes. I'll be like, all right, I don't, no big deal, right? Screw you, but not violent. That's why I wasn't put in a straitjacket or anything like that. But I can say I knew I had a disability my whole life. I knew I had problems my whole life. I didn't need a doctor to tell me that. I knew I had problems. I mean, I knew I had a concussion when I had my accident. And the doctor was like, well, you had a concussion. That's why you were vomiting, and that's why you passed out and all that. And you should be okay. But that was in 1980, I don't know, 1980 or something, 1979 or something like that. They didn't know anything about concussions back then. But even though I know millions of people that are just like me, I know 50, 60 people that are just like me, and they have a disability, but they don't kill people. They don't get violent, and just the first thing they do is start swinging and killing, people. So you can't, they can't use that as an excuse because I'm all around people with disabilities. This whole apartment complex is mainly people with disabilities, but they don't flip out and go just violent and kill people. So they can't use that. I mean, so I understand what we're dealing with, right? So, like I said, folks, we're looking at many people in the Delphi case. We are looking for many people in the Delphi case. In this case, I do believe will go on even after they convict Richard Allen, or even if they let him loose. I can tell you this much right now. Now, Melissa Higginbotham is right. I need to stay focused. That is true. And that's part of my disability. I lose interest and I lose focus. So let me reel myself back in. Doug Carter. Even Doug Carter said, even after Keegan Klein is locked up, this case will still be investigated. Even after Chadwell was locked up, they said this case is still going to be investigated. And that was a clue that there was many more involved in this ring, this club, or whatever. No, I'm telling you, I'm being honest. Being that there was some of these guys were wrapped up into drugs, doing drugs, and they were drug dealers. I wouldn't doubt it if the FBI could pull a RICO and pick every single one of this organization or club or gang or whatever it was up and lock them up and say they're affiliated with the murders just because one of them was affiliated with the murders. Let's see what our lovely little Debbie Fox has got to say. They better start a new case for all the rest. I think that's what they're doing. A lot of people are upset at the authorities. I'm upset, but now I'm starting to see their strategy. This is bigger than we knew. They believe, I believe, and everyone believes that there are more people involved. They might not been there, but they're part of this thing, and they're bad people. And listen, I listened to Bob Mata the other day say this. Even Bob Mata said, "Listen, I could work. I could be simplifying if this was a one-time thing, and the guy made a mistake, and he's got mental problems, and he was seeing, he finds girls attractive. He could work with that. He could be sympathized to that once or twice, but not as many times as some of these guys have been caught doing this stuff. I mean, it's numerous charges." Hey Valdez, how you doing? Who is Granny's watching? Granny's watching pulled the wool over my eyes for many years. Many years I thought she was an old lady. And I used to give her tea when she used to come into the chat and everything. Tell people don't mess with Granny, with watching Granny, or Granny's watching, whatever her name is. I thought she was an old lady. And I'll be danged if she didn't show her face, and she ain't old, I'll tell you that much. Long-legged, incredible Italian, I think she is, woman or something. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not Granny's watching. And everyone's like, that's Granny's watching. And I'm like, she's not an old lady. And that day I stopped serving her tea in chat and telling people to get her a shaw, that she was chilly. When she would say she was cold, I'm like, someone get her a shaw and some hot tea. And that ended that day. When I found out she ain't old, not at all. She's an Italian woman or something, long legs and everything. And I'm like, this is all, the whole YouTube is a lie. She could be Granny. I knew a Savandoran girl that was a grandmother. I don't know if she's a granny or not. You can't say you're a grandmother and be 20 years old or 30. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't be using that. I mean, everyone thinks she was an old lady. And it explains now, whenever she came in the chat, everybody was loving on her. And Granny's watching, her out. Granny, here's your shaw and your cup of tea. And that was all a scam. She's some hot-looking model Italian lady or something. It's unbelievable. I can't go for this. Never heard of her. She's been around for many years, Debbie. I used to watch her probably 5-6 years ago. Right? Many years, many moons ago. Many Botox shots and plastic surgery ago. Many years ago. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, we don't know. This case is still open, and I do believe it'll still be open, even though there's been I still think it'll be going on. I'm listening to Doug Carter. I'm thinking FBI, and I think that this case will never end. This case will never end, and I do believe we'll continue to see people being arrested, and it all come from Abby and Libby's murder and the other girls' murders down there, right before Abby and Libby. And I think there was a couple murders after Abby and Libby. No, Debbie, I don't think she's ever been in my chat, Deb. I don't think she's ever been in my chat. I've been watching her for many, many years. That granny chick, let's see, Melissa Higginbotham says that granny chick is being sued by the Proud Feet. I think, yes, she is. I heard about that. Yeah, somebody suing her or something, right? I don't know. I stopped watching her a while ago. I mean, I stop in there once in a while, but why did she block you, Melissa? That's what I'm wondering. I mean, he's batting a million today. He was over in another chat earlier that I was in, and he's just busting balls everywhere. And everyone's like, "You this? What is wrong with this guy?" And I'm like, "That's our buddy from our, it's our old friend, the Plague." It's like the movie Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman. It's our old friend, the Ebola. We'll all be crapping our eyes out. I make snarky truce. Well, you don't make nothing when you don't even have a real face or a real name. No one's going to take you serious about nothing until you change your appearance with a real name and a real face and some content. You're always going to be our old friend, the Ebola. Now, is there any other questions? Any other questions? We're too real for YouTube, possibly. Right? I wanted to go ahead and I called government and Homeland. What do you need, Mr. Kramer? I'm like, we're going to pick up probably 100,000 YouTubers. What? Probably maybe 200,000. I'm not sure yet, but just I want to make sure we got the power to do it. Well, they're like, I don't think we can do that. All right, I guess not, but at least a couple of these guys we're going to pick up. I think I'm the only one that is too real for YouTube. The rest of you hide behind fake accounts and no content. I think Valdez is the only one that might have some content. And Debbie Fox, right? Or, I mean, that's in here right now. Well, you know what, Lane? I have given you opportunity to be honest with me. You've been in there saying you've been sleeping with Debbie for many years. You're cooking her butter sausage all the time. That pissed me off. Debbie is my chat wife. So I got pissed. I wanted to go ahead and have you picked up, possibly located and taken out by satellite. But Debbie started crying, and you can't. He's just a troll. Is he? Is he really just a troll? Or has he been busting my chops, and all along he's been wanting you and wanting to take you away from me? And you know, homie, don't play that. So quit trolling people, Lane. I mean, Miss Melissa Higginbotham. Today you're Melissa Higginbotham. Tomorrow you're going to be Lane Staley, which you should even change your name. I'm pissed off. I got a hold of Allison Chains. I'm like, I got some idiot in here that's using Lane's name, saying Lane Staley, not Lane, saying Lane Staley sucks. And I'm like, this guy's got to go. But you're lucky that The band really don't care right now. They're working on new material. So today you live. Tomorrow you might not be in this chat anymore. I'm sorry. I have Peacock video. I don't care what you got. You can have all kinds of videos. You can videotape me all you want. Heck, if you're going to pay me, I'll put on my best boxers, oil up, and I'll lift up my blinds, and you can videotape me all day. I really don't care. I'm not, because I don't hide things. So I don't care what kind of Peacock video you got of me. I really don't care. He is kind of here when nobody else is. He is a dedicated troll, or he is my ex-girlfriend and lover I used to have. And if it is you, sweetie, you're going about this the wrong way to get me back. This ain't going to work if you were trying to get me back. You might have had a chance, but you wrecked it. I'm in love right now. I'm married to a chat wife. Well, not married, but she is my chat wife. I think she's my chat wife. Debbie, are you my chat wife and legal chat wife? Let me make sure. Higginbotham. Deborah? No, Christopher. Or is it good? Deborah, I'm asking you, are we still chat wife and related and have mad passionate AI sex every night? I'm just asking because this could be my ex-girlfriend uh, in chat. I'm not sure. It could be. Valdez, if you are, let's see, Higginbotham says, Valdez, if you are into Mason, watch the series Aquarius with Jachabi. Oh, well, it could be a bunch of Masons that did that. They are talking about it. Valdez is talking about Zodiac series is on Netflix. Well, I think the people that did this murder, or the person that did the Delphi murder, is somewhat of a Zodiac, meaning he was trying to play with somebody or do something possibly with some kind of, I don't know. It was the whole thing of him, the whole thing with Richard Allen going to the police and admitting he was there. Was that part of his Zodiac mindset to want to play with the police? He seems to be a very intelligent man during interrogation. So maybe he wanted to play this Zodiac game with the police. I don't know. Yes, we are not related though. What? What is she talking about? Oh, I might be missing something. I was asking her if we were still chat uh, wife or whatever, but she might be answering something else. Who's not related, Debbie? Has anyone watched 6 Feet Under? No, I haven't. Valdez says if they make a Delphi movie, who should play Keegan Kline? Melissa McCartney? Don't even let her know that. I know her. She's from Chicago, my hometown. And I think she probably would pick you up and body slam you if she found out you said that. And that's no joke. She's from Chicago. Wolfgang, don't even bring up Wolfgang in my chat. I know him too. Do not pick on the people I know. No, I haven't. Debbie, are you ever going to answer me, or are you answering somebody in chat? Who asked her if she was, who are you related to, Deborah? We aren't. Who, me and you? Debbie, are not related? Are we related or not related? I wish these women would tell me what's going on. I'm not sure. She says we aren't related. I'm not sure who she's talking to. Can you say I'm talking to you, Johnny? Because I don't know who she's talking to. She might be talking to Higginbottom, Debbie's and Johnny's first cousins. Good God, I hope not. I think I'd throw up right now. I watched that, Lang. Oh, she watches 6 Feet Under. I don't know. It's funny whenever things start going good to me. Either someone says they know me, I'm related to them, or they come up with some kind of a sick thing to try and destroy my life. I did. I said yes. You did what? You said yes to what, Debbie? I want you to explain this to me. I'm not sure because you're only talking to so much paralytic. And I can't figure out the whole thing. You know I have a disability, Debbie. You got to spell it the whole thing out for me. So we are related. You're very sick, Debbie. I asked you that in the beginning when you came into my chat. I hope we ain't related or anything. However, you said no, right? The first words out of your mouth is we're not related, and you got really sexy, hairy legs. And I think I'm going to lick your face. And I was like, whoa, slow down, little lady. Slow down. But we live and learn. Now, well, thank God we didn't get related and have little Johnnies because they would have come out like Deliverance guys playing banjos. And I know how much you want to sit on a porch and play a banjo, Debbie, but no. That's why ATS has 6 toes on each foot. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I think I would retract that message and not talk about Miss ATS News like that. She is a highly respected woman on this YouTube channel and on YouTube. I wouldn't say she got 6 toes. Well, you might as well. You already said she was fat and couldn't. You already said that when she was pregnant. You have Superman legs and hairy legs. Who? Miss ATS News? I don't know. I've never seen her legs. I don't know if she's got hairy legs or Superman legs. I'm not sure. She might. I've never seen her legs. Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, you mean me? Oh, I'm sorry. Guys, did you hear what happened to Griff? Did you hear what happened to Griff? Well, it's the channels now. It matters, but his name's Griff. He went to Red Lobster. He got some cheddar biscuits. And I don't know how this happened to this man, but somehow he got crabs eating cheddar biscuits at Red Lobster. How does that happen? What are they feeding us today? I can't take 2 more. I know you keep beating that joke into the ground with the 6 toes and Miss ATS News, and she's got ET toes. I know you went ahead and changed the lyrics to Betty Davis Eyes to She Got ET Toes Tonight. I know all your tricks, Lane. Oh my God, I wish the Lord would take this addiction, this smoking cigarette addiction away from me. I wish Gray Hughes would stop trespassing on me. Oh, Gray. Why you gotta trespass on me? I wish Debbie Fox would answer me straight once in my life. When is Debbie Fox gonna confess her love to me? It's been 5 years. Right? If you want this girl, you're gonna have to put a ring on it. Tonight is the night Gray begs for money. Well, that's nothing new. He does that all the time. That's nothing new. Right? That's nothing new. It's not shocking me. I dare someone to go in there and tell him he's all wrong about his time on the case. That pisses him off. He'll break out a whole thing. Are you people that stupid? I've already been through this. I solved this case day one. Let's go through this again. Let me pull up my Google map. You idiots, how could you even say that? He couldn't have been there because at this time at 1:34, he was walking through the past of the brain as he was jerking his meat. And he premature ejaculated on this 3 girl's hair. Then he walked down. I'm like, what in the world, Gray Hughes, is going on here? It's obvious you idiots don't know nothing about it. I've been through this 50,000 times on my channel. Let me do it again so I can prove to all of you. At this time, Richard Allen was walking down here. He gets mad when they don't give money. I don't know. Did you see his dogs, though? Right? His little tiny dogs he's got. That's probably the best part of the channel is the little dogs. I like Ray Hughes. A lot of people don't like him, but when he gets pissed off, he gets funny. I like when people piss him off and tell him he don't know what he's talking about. It's impossible that the girls could have been at that place at that time. And he'll break it all down over again and again. He'll play that video 20 times a day. Debbie shows a bunch of morons. I feel bad. Christopher Valdez says, I feel bad for his wife. He must be insufferable to live with. I'm not sure. I don't know.
digitizing old tip files when I came across a misfiled report labeled Richard Allen Whiteman. It caught my eye because it mentioned Allen being on the trail the day Abby and Libby went missing. I knew something wasn't right, so I brought it to the lead investigator, Tony Liggett.
That tip turned out to be a game changer. Richard Allen was arrested shortly thereafter. My next question was, Kathy, you've been a volunteer on this case since 2017. What drove you to keep going?
I just wanted to help. Those girls deserve justice. Young.
Drino's. Drino is the master of illusion. I don't know how that kid does it. He's never met these people, but somehow he works out to get it to edit an interview with a woman that he's never met. It's just phenomenal. And this is why I say to you folks, Bridge Guy might not even be real. He might have been planted. He might have been the whole video, everything we're seeing in the Delphi case of Bridge Guy and voices might have been a plant. No, I can't do this no more, Supreme Court. I can't lie to these people. I can't lie to the judges. I can't lie to it. If you want my honest opinion, everything we've been seeing was actually a plant. And it's very well possible it could. It could have been. I don't know if it was. The video, the voices, everything. Edited, posted, and that's it. This is what happened. And we're supposed to believe it. Debbie, my apartment is starting to creak again. So either I'm pissing somebody off, or we dropped a big old bomb on the other side of the world, or we are having a volcano reaction because my house is starting to creak again. Let me see what's going on. Gray was the stupid that when he takes his wife to Pound Town in the sack. What? No, let's not talk about his wife, guys. Come on. Valdez, can you please take that down? I mean, I understand what you're saying, Valdez, but can we not do that and bring in his wife or anything? I'm sure his wife's a lovely lady. Well, now I'm going to ask nicely. Can you take that down? Something about pounding when he takes his wife to Pound Town in the sack. Gray wears the stupid hat when he wears a hat when he's in the bedroom. Well, no, Valdez, let's not pick on mail order brides either. Do I look down on Gray Hughes for having a mail order bride? Not at all. He's lucky. He has someone to spend his nights with. He has someone to go through life with, whether it be a mail order bride or the Bride of Frankenstein, for all I care. I don't know what country Timo is, but he might have got her from Timo. I have no idea, but let's not break him down for that. At least the man has a wife. He's got someone to hold at night. He does have someone to take to Pound Town, whatever. Right? He's a lucky man, I don't know what to say. Then he is a good creator, but kind of rubs off on everybody. And the next thing you know, after 20 minutes of watching them, we're all, I can't believe this. I've done everything I can. Oh, great. But let's not beat them. Well, at least he's got someone to yell at. That's true. I've noticed on YouTube. I'm sorry, I'm eating a grape. I've noticed on YouTube all the hate. I've noticed in the Delphi community, in the crime community, a lot of hate. A lot of hate. And you know Johnny Kramer don't do the hate. Johnny Kramer's all about the love. Johnny Kramer's all about the love. It ain't about the hate. There's a lot of hate. A lot of hate. I found an Ombek clone. Filipino lovely. There you go. There you go. There you go, Lane. Right? It don't matter. Don't be racist. Love is everywhere. There's beautiful women in all colors. Believe me, Johnny Kramer is not racist when it comes to women's color. Not at all. He used to go on Reddit and argue with people who disagree with him. How do you know? Maybe he said something and they disagreed with him. And they were arguing with him. We don't know. We weren't there. I'm really happy that Miss Millicent Higginbottom, aka Lame, aka Bend Over Backwards Burrito Bendejo. I'm glad you found another clone of Ombek and you can love her till your little heart desires. I'm happy for you. It's better than all the hate. It's better than all the hate. There's a lot of hate on YouTube. There's a lot of deceiving on YouTube. There's a lot of fake ass people on YouTube, folks. And a lot of fake ass women. But do I blame them? No. Right? It's their fantasy life. It's their acting or whatever. It's their alter ego that they can be on YouTube, that they're not in real life. Well, the only color I'm doing right now is Debbie Fox. I'm not, I have a chat wife. I think from her photo, she looks Caucasian and possibly dark reddish hair. I'm not sure. Vision's gone. You are white, right? I don't know. We have no idea who's on the other side of this camera. All right, Miss Melissa Higginbottom said, I was watching people talk about Diddy today. I just love Candace Owens. She is I do have to say, she is a beautiful woman. Now, I think I'm going to end this video because this is actually a Delphi video, I think. Wait, what is the title? Yeah, it's a Delphi video. I always forget. I start. So I'm going to end this. I will be back with another video where you folks can talk about all kinds of crap. Okay, you can beat down on Rick or Gray Hughes and all the people you don't like, right? I mean, as long as you leave their family members out, there's codes on the streets in real life, and I think them codes should be also used somewhat on the YouTube streets, where you leave family out of it, children, wives, whatever it may be. And yeah, right. So I'm going to end this video. I'll be back later. If you guys are busy or something and you can't show up, or it's no biggie, right? I'll sit here by myself by the fire and entertain myself. So thank everyone for stopping in. You're all great people. Thank the great Debbie Fox mod and Miss ATS News and Cold Truth and all the great mods and people. You folks be safe. I will be back here, I don't know, maybe half hour. I don't know, 45 minutes or so, maybe 12:30 or so. Maybe for a peaceful fire or something. Maybe play a little bit of guitar. Just something to chill. I'm going to bed early again tonight. At least try to get in bed by 3 o'clock. I'm not feeling myself lately, folks. I'm being honest. With all this talk of these witches and sorcerers and Odins and all this stuff, I ain't feeling myself. And that's why I feel like something's this stuff might be real. Hello, Miss Justice Jane. How are you doing tonight? I seen you earlier in a chat. I think I said hi, but if I didn't, hello. It's a crazy world. We all need the Lord. Amen to that, sister. There ain't nothing better than the Lord and a good woman. And that's all you need. And some good food. And that's about it. Amen to that. Now, I will be back here shortly. I want to thank all you folks for stopping in tonight. Remember, when you are investigating a crime, keep your mind open. Anything is possible. There is no bad scenario, and anything is possible. And just when you think it's over, the case just really burst open like a can of worms. And I think we are getting to that point in Delphi where Delphi opens like a can of worms. And it's going to be unbelievable, right? It'll be bigger than we ever thought. Well, some of us thought it. It is. It is, I think. Now, is there anything you folks want to say before we go? Can you please remove the BBC in my chat? No, they're talking about codes for big. I don't know, Debbie's. Christopher said hot chocolate. I don't know. Go ahead and have your hot chocolate. Now, be safe out there on these streets, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I can say. God bless everybody. And I'll be back here shortly here with a video fire, maybe some music or something. or open chat, but this is a Delphi video, and I don't want to start talking about all kinds of stuff other than the topic of the video. I'm trying to become a good YouTube creator. All right? I'm trying to become a good YouTube creator. I'm learning. And I know I need to stay focused. When the title says something, I need to stay focused on that. God bless America. What's left of it. God bless all you good people. Lord, I could use a blessing myself in Jesus' name. Amen. And you ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. Lock your doors at night and be safe. That's it. Have a good night.